Book of Heaven. Volume 9. The 10th of March to the 1st of April 1909. Page 1–3. I am I. March 10, 1909. The Father forms one single thing with Jesus. Jesus gives himself continuously to souls. Continuing in my usual state, I found myself outside of myself with baby Jesus in my arms, and I said to him, "Tell me, my little pretty one, what does the Father do?" And he, the Father, forms one single thing with me. Therefore, whatever the Father does, I do. And I added, "And with the saints, what do you do?" And he, "I give myself continuously. So, I am their life, joy, happiness, immense good, without end and without boundaries. They are filled with me, they find everything in me, I am everything for them, and they are all for me." On hearing this, I wanted to get huffy, and I said to him, "To the saints you give yourself continuously, but to me, then, so meagerly, so stingily, and at intervals, to the point of having me spend part of the day without coming. And sometimes you hold off so much that the fear comes to me that you may not even come until evening. So I live dying, but of the most cruel and ruthless death. Yet, you told me that you loved me very much." And he, "My daughter, to you also I give myself continuously, now personally, now by grace, now through light, and in many other ways. And then, who can deny that I love you very, very much?" Now, at that moment a thought came to me of asking whether my state was will of God, for that was more necessary than what I was saying to him. So I told him, and he, instead of answering me, drew near my mouth and placed his tongue in my mouth, and I was no longer able to speak. I could just suckle something, but I can't tell what it was, and as he withdrew it, I could only say, "Lord, come back soon, who knows when you are coming back?" And he answered, "This evening I will come back again." And he disappeared. April 1, 1909. Jesus bejewels the soul with the gems that come from suffering. Since I was feeling very much in suffering, to the point of being unable to move, I was offering my little sufferings together with those of Jesus, and with that intensity of love with which he intended to glorify the Father, to repair for our sins, and to obtain all those goods which he impetrated with his sufferings. And I said to myself, I will take it as if these sufferings were a martyrdom of mine, as if the pains were the executioners, as if the bed were the cross, and my immobility the ropes that keep me bound, so as to render myself more dear and loving to my highest good. But the executioners, I don't see them. So, who is my executioner that lacerates me and tears me to shreds, not only on the exterior of my body, but also in the most intimate parts, deep in my soul, to the point that I feel the circle of my life crack? Ah! My executioner is blessed Jesus himself. At that moment, almost in a flash, he told me, "My daughter, too great for you is the honor of having me as your executioner. I act just like a groom who, having to espouse his bride and send her out in public, in order to make her have a beautiful appearance and to make her worthy of himself, trusts no one, not even his spouse herself, but he himself wants to wash her, comb her, clothe her, adorn her with gems, with diamonds. This is a great honor for a bride, more so, since she will have no such concern, will I be pleasing to my spouse or not? Will he like the way I adorned myself, or will he reproach me as a foolish one, for not having been able to guess the way to please him the best? So I do with my beloved spouses. The love I have for them is so great that I trust no one. I am even forced to act as their executioner, but a loving executioner. And so now I give her a wash, now a comb. Now I clothe her a little more beautifully, now I bejewel her, but not with the gems that come from the earth, which are things all superficial. Rather, with the gems that I make come out from the depth of her soul, from the most intimate parts, and which are formed at the touch of my fingers that create suffering. And from suffering come the gems. It converts the will into gold, and this will convert it into gold by my own hands, will send out all kinds of things. The most beautiful crowns, the most magnificent garments, the most fragrant flowers, the most pleasant melodies. And with my own hands, as I have them produced, I keep arranging them to adorn her more and more. All this happens with suffering souls. So, am I not right in telling you? Too great for you the honor.